Today we're digging into our really complicated relationship with technology. It's all inspired by the thinking of writer Mohammed Qasim, who makes us ask a question that, let's be honest, affects every single one of us. Is this digital world we live in a gift, or is it a trap? Let's get into it.
So, to kick things off, let's just start with two scenes from the real world. And I have a feeling these are going to hit pretty close to home for a lot of you.
Okay, picture this. 4 young men out at a restaurant. The food arrives, looks amazing, but before anyone even thinks about taking a bite, the phones come out. One guy is trying to get the perfect Instagram shot. Another's filming a reel for Facebook. A third is updating his WhatsApp status. And then, just silence. They eat, sure, but they're not really there. Their minds are somewhere else entirely, glued to those little glowing screens, just waiting for the likes and comments to roll in. They're sitting right next to each other, but they might as well be a million miles apart, each one stranded on his own little digital island.
And nearby, another scene is playing out. An elderly father is sitting with his son. You can tell he wants to talk. He keeps glancing over, just hoping for a conversation. But his son, he's completely lost in his phone. His whole world has just shrunk down to that little device in his hands. The father, well, he eventually just gives up. He turns away and quietly sips his tea. And in that moment, his eyes were moist, with this really profound sense of loneliness.
You know, scenes like that, they force you to stop and ask a pretty tough question. What kind of revolution is this? We have the power to connect with literally anyone on the planet, but we can barely talk to the person sitting right across the table from us. So how are we supposed to think about this huge, massive change to our lives?
Well, it seems like we're caught between two extremes. On one hand, technology feels like this incredible magical lamp, right? It grants our every wish for knowledge, for connection, for opportunity. But on the other hand, it can feel like some kind of cybernetic monster, just slowly eating away at the very things that make us human. So let's break down both of those sides.
First up, let's talk about the good stuff. The incredible power that the digital age has put right into our hands. And you can't deny it. Some of this stuff is straight out of science fiction. It's truly astounding.
I mean, this revolution has totally transformed pretty much every part of our lives. We're talking knowledge, education, healthcare, how we work, even how we talk to each other. Let's look at a few really concrete examples.
In education, it's an absolute game changer. Think about it. A young girl who lives way up in the remote mountains of Chitral can now tune in to lectures from the best universities in the world. Barriers like geography and class that used to be impossible to overcome, they're just vanishing.
Or how about health? With telemedicine, someone in a tiny village can get a consultation with a top specialist in Karachi or Lahore. We even have AI now that can scan an X-ray and spot things a human doctor might actually miss. You know, this isn't just about convenience. This is literally saving lives.
And the world of work has been completely turned on its head. A housewife can sell crafts she makes at home to people all over the world. A young freelancer can make a great living by working with clients from different countries. E-commerce has basically opened up a global market for anyone with an idea.
And this power shift, it's huge. This quote really says it all. Social media has turned every individual into a media house. It's given this massive platform, a megaphone really, to women, to minorities, to communities that were oppressed, letting them raise their voices in a way that used to be reserved only for kings and giant media corporations.
But every bright light casts a shadow, right? And this shiny digital world has a much darker side, one that kind of threatens to hollow out the very spirit of what it means to be human. So now, let's look at that.
Just think about what we've traded away. We used to remember dozens of phone numbers and addresses off the top of our head. Now, we've basically outsourced our memory to the cloud. We used to have these deep, face-to-face conversations. Now, so often, we're just chasing likes and comments. And privacy? That feels like a thing of the past. For corporations, we're basically an open book.
And all of this, it takes a serious toll on our mental health. Social media can be like a honey-coated poison. We're constantly comparing our messy real lives to everyone else's perfectly polished highlight reels, and it just fuels this cycle of anxiety and depression. It's like we're living in a digital theater where we're all just performing for each other's approval.
And the dangers get even more serious. We're dealing with this constant storm of fake news that can actually cause real-world violence. Cyberbullying and online harassment are everywhere. And maybe the biggest tragedy of all is the slow death of genuine, real relationships, which are being replaced by these shallow digital connections.
Which brings us to this huge, kind of heartbreaking paradox. We might have thousands of friends and followers online. We are connected to billions of people with just the tap of a button. And yet, how many of us feel truly, deeply alone?
So what's the answer here? Do we just get rid of our phones and run away from the digital world? No, of course not. That would be like trying to stop time itself. The solution isn't to reject the machine, it's to learn how to control it.
See, this isn't about whether technology is good or bad. It's not that simple. The real question, the one we all have to ask ourselves, is about who's in charge. It's a question of agency. Are we using our devices, or are our devices using us?
The way forward looks something like a digital diet. On a personal level, we have to start avoiding toxic content online, just like we'd avoid toxic food. In our families, it's our job to teach our kids that there's a real, beautiful life that exists beyond the screen. And as a whole society, we have to take on this collective responsibility, demanding better data privacy and fighting to end digital inequality.
You know, a great way to think about technology is like a really fast car. If you're a skilled driver and you're in control, it's this amazing tool that can take you absolutely anywhere you want to go. But if you lose control, it can throw you right into a deep pit. The key, the whole thing, is mastery.
And as we learn to master it, we always have to remember its limits. It's an incredibly powerful tool for sure, but it can't speak the language of the heart. It can give us all the information in the world, but it can't give us wisdom. It can give us a long list of friends, but it can't give us true friendship.
We are standing at a major crossroads in human history. We're watching a whole new kind of evolution happen right before our eyes. And as we move forward, we have to decide what it is we want to become. Are we building a future for better, more connected humans? Or are we just becoming e-humans? The choice, really, is ours.